I want to thank my friend and colleague, the member for Capricornia, for moving this important motion. Unfortunately, the time will not permit me to list all the threats to agriculture created by this reckless Albanese Labor government, and I might add their Victorian Labor colleagues. I want to start in my electorate of Mallee. Victorian Labor's renewable energy zones were initially proposed for 5 areas of the state, but now the transmission priority mapping shows Mallee is actually ground zero, along with a small area in my colleague, the Liberal member for Wannon. The VNI West transmission line corridor was announced last week, and some of the farmers in my electorate have voiced their views, and I want to share them because their voices matter in this House, and I'm here to represent them. Glendon Watts, a farmer in Younggroon, said the project hasn't been done correctly. It's a political decision, Mr Watts said. The route does a dogleg into farming land rather than the populated areas. This is almost dictatorial or communism. I don't believe in taking away people's rights to farm or to contest the decision. I don't believe in this project. This isn't Australian to come in and do what they are doing. Billy Baldwin, a sheep and wheat farmer at Marnoon in my electorate, says we are not going to give it to them. We will have to stand at the gate. The company now plans to get a transmission licence so they can get more power over us, a bigger stick. But to us, it makes no difference. We will be ready to fight. We will protect our community, our home and our right to farm. Ben Duxton, who has 8,500 merino sheep as well as canola, barley and wheat on his 5,500-acre farm in Kanya, Wimmera, whose property could be impacted by about 1.5 kilometres of transmission lines, said he was prepared to go to court over the decision. And I quote, "We know this is no good for Australia. This isn't right for agriculture, food sustainability or food affordability," Mr Duxton said. Once they try and come and put 70% renewables in our farmland, we will never get it back. We are in agriculture country that needs to produce food. We have other energy sources out there. The alternative is nuclear, not ripping up prime agricultural land. None of it is good for food consumers or energy consumers. It just increases the cost in both areas and makes no sense. Grey farmer Jason Barrett, who has sheep, cattle, wheat, barley and canola, said the 1 kilometre line through his property would also restrict the way he can farm. There would be height restrictions, even to the point at time of day, Mr Barrett said. We harvest in summer and there will be temperature restrictions also, not being able to use machinery underneath the lines. We need to farm on warmer days because that's the nature of farming. There is no way we are going to lie down. We are united in our fight. And today I received an email from Anne Bryce, and I want to read you a small amount of that, Deputy Speaker. This is Anne Bryce, who lives in Trainor's Lagoon in my electorate. She says, "Never in my lifetime did I ever think I would be facing and fighting against a government that is treating my community with such disdain. The transmission route has been narrowed that it now runs alongside our property. Along with this comes the onslaught of wind turbine companies and now mineral sand mining. We feel we are under constant attack when all we want to do is farm. It's funny how we produce the food, yet we're on the bottom of the food chain because there seems to be so many external factors vying for a piece of our farm. The government, overseas renewable companies and mining all picking at us like crows. We have been fighting this since February 2023, where we have been treated like our lives don't matter by AEMO and Transmission Company Victoria. The mental toll this is taking on my community is immense, and TCV's attitude to this is to give you a card to Lifeline or Beyond Blue. TCV take no accountability. Her family farm has been farming there for 150 years, and they are facing this kind of onslaught. Where is food security and ultimately our national security going to end?
The question is that the motion be agreed to. I call the member for